Two Lions, One Dragon.
This episode may contain some adult themes and some very naughty swears. Right, so we are back again for episode 4 of the Two Lions, One Dragon podcast. How are we, fellas?
We're doing great. I think Charlie's cut his video. Oh, he's back.
There he is.
He's just being annoying. We tried to start the recording already, but he's being his mischievous self and disrupting proceedings.
Bloody
You're gonna have to tell
gremlins,
his
isn't
wife
it?
not to let him have any alcohol.
He's
But
got
this
that
is
many
it.
before recordings.
She's at work, kids are in the house by themselves, please don't send social services. And I'm in the garage.
Don't say that. Don't.
What are you
doing?
Carlton, why did you say it, Yorkshire?
I mean, you may as well be in your garden digging up your own grave, to be honest.
Well, there is a big hole left for the rest of the patio, so maybe I'll crawl into it after this.
Maybe. Well, yeah, I'm good. I'm very warm, though. I'm very warm.
It is warm, isn't
Very
it?
humid.
Yeah.
I think I've said it.
Raining here in England.
It's giving rain, but it's just not doing it.
It's like the Canary Islands down here, Trig, isn't it? We've got a bit of cloud, so it's not too hot, but, you know, when the sun comes through, it is hot.
Just taking a look outside, but it is like 11 a reef, to be honest.
Oh, where?
11 a reef, you know, 10, 11 a reef.
Oh, 10 a
my
reef.
God.
10 or 11 a reef, Jesus. Anyway,
Right,
Let's crack on.
wait.
crack on.
The first result, which was a huge result for Wales, second game, 2-0 Turkey. Fantastic result that was. Mr. Trigg, two standout performers in Bale and Ramsey. The one thing we do ask is, what was that penalty?
He scored in the Euros before, doesn't need to score again, I suppose. That's my answer.
What I will say is,
Speaking for Gareth.
he doesn't seem to be world class anymore, does he, Gareth Bale? I think Aaron Ramsey is arguably a better player at the moment, but you can see he's determined to do well, and his mentality is there. But I don't know, is the other half of his brain on the golf? What do they call it? Golf green or whatever.
Zidane phased him out, and since he phased him out, he's gone down. Like since he scored that goal in the Champions League final. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how you can phase a player out after he scored a bicycle kick in the Champions League final.
He peaked.
But
No.
Zidane does, and it is what it is. But for Wales, he's been, and continues to be brilliant, except for that penalty.
He does.
But you know, he got 2 assists in that game. So I mean, the scoreline could have been about 10-2 to us, to be honest. I mean, Ramsey missed a couple of opportunities in the first
He
half.
did.
And happily for me, took his third opportunity. And I mean, since after Bale's missed that penalty, I'm happy the way we responded, and the fact that I mean, Turkey didn't really come at us with any sort of.
No, they're poor again, weren't they? They're poor again.
Can I ask about Turkey? Because there were lots of pundits tipping them to be one of the dark horses. Who was tipping them? Because they've been absolutely woeful.
Well, they had a young side, didn't they? Young, energetic side, but they haven't played the young, energetic side. They've kind of played the old guard.
I mean, they've got 2 players in, is it Yazici and Yilmaz, who won the league with Lille in France. So, I mean, they're coming off the back of a good title win. So you'd think
There's some good players. Like we've spoken before about like having a good core. Like Calhanoglu from Milan, he's a decent player. You would have expected him to perform a bit better. And then obviously Soyuncu at the back. But he has been abysmal as well.
He's come off the back of some good form. Got to give him a shout.
And even Cengiz Under, is it the Leicester City player who was on loan this year? And, you know, so there's decent players there. They just haven't performed, and I don't know whether it is the pressure of being the dark horses and people expecting them to do well. But I think they've scored 1 goal now, haven't they? After the Switzerland game.
Yeah.
And they've just
just
been so poor at the back. I mean, they let Wales score twice.
There was a small kind of community of people who say, watch out for Turkey, watch out for Turkey. And I think a lot of people have jumped on that wagon of criticising the people who said that because Turkey have been so woeful. But, I mean, Turkey have been, since the World Cup in 2002 where they got quite far, they've just been...
Is that with Rusty with his...
Barcelona.
Love that.
They've just been rubbish.
That was the one where they got Rivaldo got him sent off in the corner, right? Was it that game? when the ball got kicked at him,
Maybe.
he went down like a
I know they played
sack.
South Korea, didn't they, in the third place playoff?
Yeah,
but,
I think it was that game.
Yeah, and I thought Turkey, Wales were amazing.
Yeah,
Don't matter.
Wales.
Yeah, and
To be fair.
moving on with Wales, we're now obviously at the back of their performance against Italy. So celebrating a defeat because they've qualified.
Yeah. We said that it'd be good for them to get out of the group, wouldn't it?
Some people were saying that they've shocked, but were you expecting them to qualify, Trig? I certainly was.
Yeah, no. I mean, coming off the back of 2016, I mean, there was a slight expectation for us to repeat what we'd done there, but it would have been highly unlikely that we repeat that form. But I mean, obviously with the group as well, where we had Switzerland and Turkey, was on paper quite a difficult group. And I mean, we got the result that we won against Switzerland and Turkey, and I think the way the Italy game was a bit of damage limitation where, I mean, there was a bit of goal difference in our favour. Turkey got a goal. Kudos to them. And yeah,
you
we
go
got
down
through,
in
and
folklore.
I think the results are kind of, and nobody can really complain about the results. I mean, the Italy game, we had a man set off, and we lost 1-0.
I want to ask you about that because when I saw it, I immediately said not a red, and I'm still sticking to that because to me it's a yellow, but it's nothing more.
Yeah, I mean,
gents, what do you think?
I missed it live. I think I was distracted by something, probably Harry. But I on the replays, I don't think it is a red. I think it's dangerous yellow. I think you're getting near it. But my initial reaction was just pure disgrace for the UEFA officials. But I mean, in European football, it's a bit
yeah, it's different. Isn't
lenient. I mean, you can't get away with don't mean lenient. It's the opposite. You can't get away with a lot of tackles, so I mean, I'm not really surprised. To be fair.
it was quite high, and in that case, it was a bit of a Ethan Amper, don't do that because you'll get sent off, but he did.
You were waiting for that for a while, weren't you? I bet you
I've
thought
seen him
that,
looking down at his
ago.
notes. He's really going, how do I say
Ethan
that
Amper.
again?
No, but it's one of those. If it was in the Premier League, you know, he could get away with it. I think with these decisions, though, you have to look at the player's intent. And there was no intent to maliciously hurt the Italy player there. No. He was going for the ball. Yeah, he's mistimed it. He's caught him quite high, which I guess the laws state anything above the foot or whatever could hurt his.
I think it's the studs are showing as well.
Yeah, but
that's the problem.
But I think if it was in the Premier League, like you say, Trig, different referee, European referees are a bit more. Maybe stricter. I don't know. I kind of Pierluigi Collina. Was that his name?
The
comes to
Italian.
mind. He comes to mind when we talk about strict.
Yeah, but then I mean, I forgot where I was going with this. I had a trail of thought, and it's instantaneously gone.
Ethan Ampadu.
So Ethan Ampadu, there's something there.
It doesn't matter, Trig. You're through.
VAR. I'm glossing over VAR again, but I can't complain about VAR the tournament so far.
No.
It's been very good.
It's been brilliant.
Compared to the Premier League. So there's a bit of, I mean, with the Ampadu decision, I can't really be too critical because of the overall performance of VAR so far.
Yeah.
So he only misses one game, though.
I agree.
He only misses one game, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because didn't Arnautovic have the same ban as if he was sent off and he only missed a game?
Yeah. But
So
yeah,
the one thing I...
Go on.
Sorry, go on. No, go on.
I was just going to gloss over the fact that I'm happy Wales are through and I'm drinking a whiskey and congratulations. So, yakida.
The one thing I wanted to ask you is the role in the tournament of favourites and underdogs. We talked briefly about Turkey being a dark horse. Does the role that, or the label that Wales are a bit of an underdog suit them? Would you say? Because some people tipped them, or some people had. It was a bit of a mixed bag. Some people had tipped them as a favourite to come out of the group after the last Euros performance, and
I
then
think there's probably a bit
people
more
playing it down and trying to make them an underdog.
I think there's a bit more expectation on them this time after what they did the previous time. And they
Rightly so.
You know, they've got a good team now, and I mean they've defended well. Kudos to Joe Rodon and Danny Ward at the back. They've been immense. But I think, with the team they've got now, they've got a lot more players who are playing in the Premier League, playing top flight football. So the expectation with that would come that they would perform better. Obviously, coming off the back of 2016 as well, where they performed really well. But I wouldn't say there was pressure really, Trig, was there?
I mean, not really. I think from being a Welshman, with the Euros where we're in a group with England, and we're in a group now with quite a few difficult teams, that a lot of people wrote us off immediately. And it's nice for us to prove everyone wrong, to be honest.
And of course, if you get through it, are we going to find out tonight who you're playing? I think it's second place, isn't it?
Yeah. The Belgian group.
So we're looking.
Who plays either Belgium? No, it's not Belgium because they're going to bloody walk it.
Finland, Russia, or Denmark, isn't it? And I mean, that game's winnable.
100%.
100%. So, Trig, we could be talking about Wales in the quarterfinals of a European tournament once again.
Again, which I bloody adore. I love a tournament. Me, as a Welshman, can't get over it. Love it.
I just can't wait for you to face penalties for the first time.
Don't matter. Lottery, innit? Pretty much. Don't mind it.
It's a lottery unless we're involved.
You either score or you don't. I mean, you should be scoring 12 yards, whoever you are. You're a professional footballer paying £1,000 a week. If you're not scoring from 12 yards, you shouldn't be. So.
On that one, talking of penalties, that's one thing I wanted to ask you. We've all played football. Have you ever had to been involved in a shootout? Did you put your name forward, or have you ever because I was been involved in a shootout and I was injured, so I deliberately asked to go last because I couldn't walk. So I was worried I wouldn't be able to kick the bloody thing. And I'm terrible. I'm absolutely dog shit at penalties.
Absolutely. But go first. I always put my name forward to go first. It's the easiest penalty. I mean, if you miss, which you should, because it's 12 yards. You've got 4 of the penalties to kind of save your bacon. So I think I've been in 2 and I've taken the first one both times.
Yeah,
I think we won. I think we won both, but I'm not really sure. I can't remember. My memory's quite terrible.
Pontyclun under 15's penalty taker, actually. Do you remember that, Trig? Yeah.
No, I didn't play Pontyclun under 15.
Well, you were very Clantrison, didn't you? But yeah, I was Pontyclun under 15 penalty taker. I just used to Alan Shearer, run up, smash the ball, in it goes. And half the time, because I didn't know where the ball was going, the keeper didn't know where the ball was going.
I imagine you just close your eyes. I think both of you did.
It's one of those, when you run up with your tongue out like that and just smack it.
Like a Jamie Vardy, just hammer it down the middle.
Yeah. I did take one in a penalty shootout once, and I did miss it, hit the post. Quickly moving on.
England versus Scotland.
I don't want to talk about it. Can we cut?
So,
move on.
You have to. I've done my bit.
Doesn't matter as long as we get through.
The points I've got for summer.
Hang on, let's pull this man in to explain himself. Come on, explain yourself, Gareth.
So it was poor. It was lethargy. I mentioned before, I think, about not playing the occasion, and by that I meant not playing the rivalry so that someone gets an immediate red. We saw John McGinn get a yellow in very early, and I thought that was risky. But
he was very good.
As soon as John Stones hit the post for me, England sort of sat back and thought, oh, well, this is going to be easy, and let Scotland grow into the game. And boy, they did that. They were unlucky to not come away with the win. The performance was the thing that annoyed me most, but there are also questions about the selection for me. But I'll stop because I'm on a rant, and I'll let you two come in.
Rant away, I don't mind. I'm here. I'm not an Englishman. I'm a Welshman, and I'm through, and I don't care.
I think it's a bit harsh, Luke, what you said about the performance. But I think that comes with the expectation that we expected England to win. Not only do we expect England to win, we expect them to hammer him. We didn't give Scotland enough respect, really, from a fan. Hang on, let me speak. Shut your mouth. It's my turn now. Right? And I think it did get to a point in the game. If it was a friendly or something, we probably would have gone for it around the 60th minute. But I think it got to a point in the game where Gareth Southgate went, we can't lose this game. So let's just try and get something out of it. They put Rashford on and nothing happened. He hardly touched the ball. Don't get me wrong, I'm annoyed.
We put people on in the wrong position.
Yeah, but I think this was it, that he was just trying to not lose the game. And as the players, and I kind of feel like that was a message to the players as well, because they've all come out now and they've said, look, we've had 2 clean sheets, and the most important thing was that we didn't lose the game. And to be fair, button up, Luke.
No, you're
Button up.
ranting. No,
Right.
you're ranting.
And I think, it could be a stroke of masterclass, Luke. We could avoid France, Portugal, or Germany. And we get Sweden again, and we're through.
You've got to beat the top teams.
Yeah.
I don't mind a pragmatic approach, and if Gareth keeps saying it was pragmatic, and that's fine. But if you're having a pragmatic approach, I still want to see some levels of passion and desire in the performance, and I don't care if it's 0-0, and I feel like they've worked the socks off. I really don't. It was after the John Stones header. It was almost like, oh, we've come close. We've got this. It was all. It felt like that. It felt like when you're in year 11 and you play year 10s at lunchtime and you think you've got it.
Yeah,
That's how it felt.
But let's not take away anything from Scotland, because they defended really well.
No, not at all.
I mean, you look at their team as soon as England got the ball, they were 5-4-1. Was it? They were 5-4-1. They set with the 5, set with the 4, set with the 1. It says something. They played McTominay in defence because they knew that he was one of their best defenders.
You have to assume, though, I think it shows Gareth Southgate's ineptitude tactically that, I mean, you have to expect that Scotland are going to put 5 behind the ball defensively. But then, if they're going to put 5 behind the ball, why are you starting 2 holding midfielders? I mean, you can't do it. And then, glossing over your point where you say Rashford came off the Kane. But if you put Rashford on for Kane and Kane's not playing a good game, he's not playing a good game because he's got no service.
Yeah.
He may have dropped deep, but he still didn't get the ball because there's no service. So putting Rashford on isn't going to defeat the point where you've got no creativity. You need to take off or start either Calvin Lewis or Declan Rice, not both of them, and then you have to put a midfielder, either drop Mount back and put Grealish on 10, or you take out Sterling, who had a poor game, take him off early, and put Sancho in. He hasn't had a look in.
He picked the team based off Croatia's performance, though, didn't he? He was loyal because the team was so good against Croatia that he picked the same team, kept loyal to him. I think we will see changes agast Czech Republic.
But he didn't, because he changed the right back and left back, didn't he?
Yeah,
So
to give more attacking support.
But they didn't.
Well, that's the problem. They didn't do what they were put on there to do, were they? Reece James was meant to get forward and get the balls into Harry Kane, and there's a couple of times Reece James gets down there and he doesn't pass the ball in first time. He draws it back to Foden, and then we're going backwards again. But I think we will see some changes in the next game. But the most important thing is we didn't lose the game, because if we'd lost the game, we'd be saying now that Czech Republic is a must-win, but it's not really.
Yeah, I think also I think the team selection showed he was a bit nervous as well coming to the Scotland game, because if you're willing to make changes, why only change your left and right backs? I mean, you need to attack Scotland because you know they're going to put 5 behind the ball defensively. Changing your left and right backs and keeping 2 defensive midfielders isn't going to change the way you're going to attack them.
Well, you can't play through. Play through 5 defenders and 4 midfielders, can you? So that's where the wing backs came in to get the balls in, but they didn't. So they didn't do the job.
My biggest problem with that is he knew he was gonna play a 5 and a 4 because he's done it before. But the problem was our formation played into their hands because we played everything in front of them. If you've got a 5 and a 4, you're, as a defender, and I was a slow defender, I loved it if someone wanted to play in front of me, because I was like, that's fine. I'll block it, I'll tackle you, that's fine. I hated it if someone wanted to run in behind me, especially if they were pacey like Sancho, Rashford. We didn't look to do that at any point. Yeah. That was my biggest... And the fact that we played 2 hold in midfield has really irritated me. Because bring Grealish on, play him in the 10, get some people running behind the defence and putting balls into Kane, and then you'll cause some problems. I agree, it was good that we didn't lose, but it would have been nice to get the victory, because then you've got the momentum carrying, because we had such a high after Croatia that then we pulled straight back down now.
Yeah, but I think that was doing well.
I also think that game was screaming for Bellingham. I really do.
I think that will do him well though, having not like smashed Scotland, because they've realised, oh, okay, maybe we're not as good as we think we are, but you know,
Yeah.
maybe they'll dig in a bit more and then say, come on lads, we need to fucking pull ourselves together here. And I think a person who saw a lot of the ball and did nothing with it was Declan Rice. And I wonder if we saw Jordan Henderson come in the Czech Republic game. It might be a bit too early for him, but if we saw Henderson coming in, there'd probably be a lot more balls forward.
So I think you could just play Philip instead of him and bring in, like Trig mentioned, I know Mount might not be able to play now because of COVID, etc. But if you were to play Phillips with a Bellingham or someone who has the tenacity that will also link between the back and the front and drive. The problem with Rice is he is good for that job of just breaking stuff up, passing it on, but then he doesn't really get forward. Whereas I think you needed someone to join the play, which Bellingham does.
Yeah.
Big fan of him, as you can tell.
Do you think that Rice is then overrated, and then Jordan Henderson gets flack that he doesn't deserve in that aspect where they play sideways?
Yes.
Unfortunately, even though he's from Sunderland, I do rate Jordan Henderson very highly. I like his work rate. I like his...
He's won the Champions League.
Exactly, and you don't win the Champions League unless you're a good player, do you? And he's obviously a captain of Liverpool. He's captain of Liverpool for a reason. And whenever I see him get the ball, he's always looking forward, and he's quick on the ball as well. Like Declan Rice, he picks it up and he's like, "Should we go this way? Should we go that way?" And it's frustrating because he's a good defender, and he did a job on Modric in the first game. He used to be a centre back, didn't he? But he is a good defender. But I just think being able to dictate the play, he's probably not the right man to do it. I think we're looking at like Jordan Henderson, someone like that, who's maybe it's a lack of experience in that game that let us down. You know, there wasn't many experienced players in that game, was there really? You're looking Kane, Sterling, past that John Stones perhaps, but you know there wasn't much experience there. And I think we will see some changes. I hope we do. I'm glad he's sticking with Kane because I think he just needs to go back to doing what he was doing. Just stay up top. We'll get the balls into you. You know, because
that's the big thing. People need to get the ball and support him because he's been very isolated.
And this is why we should bring Sancho. We should bring Grealish in. We should bring in, you know, give those other players a chance now, because we do kind of, you know, I would say there is a bit of a buy here for England because we've got 4 points now. If we go through in third, we're still going through. If we go through in second, we're still going through. But what I would like to see now is...
If we go through in first, we're still going through.
Exactly.
Except fourth, you're out.
What I'd like to see now is somebody stand up and be counted. You know, there's been a lot of talk about there's a lot of creativity in this England team, a lot of energy. Well, we haven't seen it yet because the Croatia performance was a bit defensive. You know, control the game, that sort of thing. Scotland, you know, it was we kept the ball, didn't do anything with it. But now this game, Czech Republic, we've got a chance now to go out and prove everyone wrong. And I think we need to do
what we want. Just want to grab the bloody game by the scruff of the neck. And
exactly.
Take it to him. That's
exactly.
What we want. Come on.
It's coming home, Luke. Come on.
I want to move on to a slightly happier topic because
it's happy for me anyway. It's not. I'm not English. It's fine. It's you two.
So
it's getting hot in here. Turn the lights off.
Luke Shaw. I don't know if you've seen it, but when he's warming up, he does what we call the Luke Shaw shuffle. He does a little routine before every game. And I've seen some interviews, and he says that it's a bit of a ritual that he has to do it.
Can you give me a demo? I'm not sure I've seen it. Give me a demo.
I'm not doing it.
Give me a demo. Someone give me a demo.
Google it. But the thing I want to ask is, when we've all played football, and I know I certainly had rituals. Did you two have any rituals before a game? If so, what were they? Charles Reeves.
I think you can guess what mine is. I've got to give you one guess and one guess only. Go on, Trig. What do you think it was?
Go for a shit.
Do you know what? Just go for a shit, innit?
If I was go for a shit, there's nothing worse.
Pre-match crap.
There's
The
nothing
amount
worse.
of times you had a poo at my house. How could that have not sprung to my mind?
There's nothing worse.
I should have charged you by the blooming roll. I swear.
I appreciate it as well, Nick. Just a shout out to Nicola Trigg there. I appreciate the bleach down the toilet after. No, but
yeah,
It's a good quality paper though. That's what we
Yeah.
want to ask.
that's the only reason I kept it in, Luke. None of this Aldi stuff.
Yeah, 3. Commonly it was 2, but also really it was 1 as well. I mean,
Tesco 3-ply.
It's like blooming tracing paper. Rubbish. But yeah, I had a ritual where I had 2. I think I can't really remember. It's been a while.
Poo in
I
a wee.
know I would always touch the top of the door frame as I'd leave change rooms. That was one, and I think I put my left sock on first. And am I right? Because my left, I'm 99%.
God, you have a bloody checklist,
I mean-
Trig. Have I touched the door?
I know,
Have
tell
I
me
put
about
my
it.
left sock on? Am I wearing my lucky
easy.
pants?
It's easy. I know Oxlade Chamberlain does. He skips on, doesn't he? Oxlade Chamberlain.
Yeah.
He does a little skip when he does. I think it's fairly common, but
Yeah, nothing worse than running around
Once you
needing a
get
dump, though, is there?
yeah. Once you get in like a habit of doing something, I think that's where your ritual comes from, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
even if you lose, you're like, I still got to do it. We've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah,
I got to do it.
exactly.
Got to do the 6 halves every game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To be fair, though,
I think I've done.
I am a bit like that when England play, and if we don't lose, I try to recreate everything that happened. So like, it happened in 2018 World Cup. Amy was here for every single game. As soon as she was working on the day we played Croatia, we lost, and I was like, so she's not allowed to work during this tournament when England are playing.
You just said she's working.
Yeah, but
What's wrong with
England aren't playing. They're playing tomorrow, so
you missed that vital bit of information.
yeah.
See, I used to have a ritual similar to you that because I'm so right-footed that my left foot is just my standing leg. That right shin pad, right sock, right boot had to come on first, and also
Half dressed.
Yeah.
Right
But then
wristband,
they all get
right
went
glove.
before the left, and then if I ever realised I put my left sock on first, I had to take it off and start again. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was awful.
I'll tell you another
And I
one,
also
actually. Go on, sorry.
used to be like really last minute onto the pitch. I don't know what it was. I didn't want to be on there like too early. Like all the other lads were really eager to get out, and I was
Yeah.
like, no, it's bloody freezing. Let's wait a bit.
Another one as
Really?
well.
Can't go out in the cold rain.
Another one I had was, that you get the insulation tape. I used to wrap that around my boots like there's no tomorrow. Every single game.
Round your boot.
Yeah,
That's why they should have followed you, idiot.
No, you used to have the tongue, didn't you? That would like
Yeah,
flap
yeah.
like this, and I would just pick my foot up and I'd wrap the insulation tape around it a lot. And if there was, I'd be like, as soon as we got in the change room, I'd be like, has anyone got any insulation tape? I'd never bring me on.
No, I never did.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Toilet roll boy.
I'm all about the
CLB.
freebies. All about the freebies.
So, gents, we've rolled through that this evening, and I thought we were going to be on possibly the longest podcast and longer edit for Mr. Reese because of my England rant. So, I'm proud of us. We've done well. It's episode 4 done. We'll be back for the 5th podcast.
We did
Very
fall out.
soon. We didn't.
Oh,
You're friends.
and before they go, Luke, I'll just make sure you like and follow on Instagram at 2 Lions,
Thank
1
you.
Dragon Podcast.